region is one of 14 regions of Uzbekistan. There is a total of 12 regions or districts, and Tashkent is also sort of a region, and that's the Republic. That's the 14th region. 5 to 6 years ago, Chizak region was focused on agriculture exclusively, and nowadays, thanks to continuous attention of the head of our country, Shahat Muzlaev, naturally, a lot of forums and innovative forums of regions and districts let us give rise to diverse manufacturing sectors. Let me dwell upon drivers. Our automobile construction, engineering district of our country. That's the car which is fabricated in our region, and BYD is also supposed to be manufactured at the end of June. Localization is quite proper in this field right now. We have agreed upon it with the Sunny company. By the end of this year, we are going to manufacture trucks and some special purpose machinery. That's our key driver. And I would like to invite our investors also to take part in localization of these specific projects. Another key driver of ours is textile. You know that we grow cotton. We also cultivate some crops. We grow cotton, corn, and that's also the issue of textile. Definitely we recycle and process our textile, but still we have a window for investment. It's about fiber, cotton fiber, painting, coating, sewing the materials. There is some room for improvement and for work of our investors. I would also like to name one more driver called metallurgy. Since we are focused on the automotive industry, we need linens and metals. One of our free economic zones is focused on that. We have 3 economic zones. That's Chizak economic zone. Also, we have Galeral special economic zone and Zemin special economic zone. I'm not going to expand on the preferences of the special economic zones because you're fully aware of them. Let us move forward. Our companies from Turkey, China, and us launch new projects worth $2 billion. Invariably, thanks to permanent and continuous attention of our presidents Vladimir Putin and Shavkat Mirziyoyev, we also have some agreements with Russian investors. We have very good relations with Russian investors and firms. Let me highlight that over the past years, we have established 17 new Russian companies which have been registered in our country. Overall, their number is, there's a total of 31 of them. 39% of them account for industry, 13% of them accounts for trade, commerce, and services, 16% stand for agriculture, and 10% stands for construction and some other fields. But as for trade turnover in 2023, the total trade turnover of our region amounted to roughly $1.5 billion. 74 million of them are attributed to Russia. As for the first quarter, there's almost $500 million and trade turnover. That's the total trade turnover, and 20 million is attributed to Russia. And we can also see an upward trend as per this year. Let me also stress that not only do we launch new projects, but we also cooperate with some people and nurture the manpower. There are 5 higher schools, and that's also a representative branch of Kazan Federal University, which is also open here. That's the only branch in ex-Soviet Union, and now we are training the employees for our new projects. When I enumerated the drivers, I focused on electric and technical products such as refrigerators, televisions, air conditioning devices, to name a few. I will also cover an IT sector. I would like to delve into 3 projects in this field. We have established an IT park. We launched the cybersport arena. That's why we call upon the investors to join us, because nowadays this domain is expedited in Uzbekistan, and I will also indicate that on the slides. Here I provided the prices for our resources. The next sector to which I'm smoothly moving is recycling of construction materials. Significant investment is dedicated to limestone, cement, and the processing and recycling of construction materials stated on this slide. When I listed these primary industries, they are listed here. Let me tell you that in figures and in numbers, by which figure is the amount of industrial products has increased. It was 11.7 trillion sums, but I may give it back to rubles or dollars, and then it was 19. Our growth was 1.7. That's how our industrial product manufacturing has increased, and the interest of investors has been sparked off, and it is now oriented at our field. When I was talking about free economic zones, I provided them. There are some foreign companies which are operating in our regions. And obviously, I would like to provide 2 more figures here. It's about investment, which entails tourism, and tourism entails investment. There are 2 more figures following the results of 2022. 13,000 foreign tourists have arrived at our region, and then it exceeded 145,000 at the end of 2023. We set the scene for that. It has increased by a factor of more than 10. We have a great lake in our territory, and it is approximately 350 kilometers long. The width is 45 kilometers, and its depth is up to 50 meters. And we have great opportunities for boosting tourism in this field. The next slide, please. I've recently mentioned the following driver, IT sector. And let me provide some special data. Please turn on the full screen mode. Well, we managed to do that. That's the particular IT sector. The President has adopted the decree on developing digital technologies and AI till 2030. And here are some potential data while moving this field. I do not mean Jizakh region, I mean Uzbekistan on the whole. I mean human resource potential. You know that more than 50% of the population of Central Asia is based here in Uzbekistan. Here are some ranking figures as well in this table. As for IT parks, I would also like to address them. There are some figures. That's one more driver. We also raised the funds of foreign companies following this year. Here you can see some regional data, the Republican data. It will reach up to $50 million. That's about export of IT products. Definitely, we train manpower for that. There is Bangalore idea. We attracted good investors from Bangalore. We established good universities. More than 2,500 Uzbekistani people are graduating from them, and they study there as well. As for IT parks, there are some tax benefits and preferences for residents and non-residents of the IT park. These figures are striking, and a lot of Russian and Belarusian investors are arriving here. But I would like to expedite the investment influx in this area. That's one more item on the strategic approach, which is provided in this slide.
This was the last slide. Concerning the timetable, me, as a representative of our DJAC region, always welcome all people to come to us to invest into our region. And 5-6 years ago, we didn't have more than 50 joint companies, but today we plan to achieve thanks to international forums. So this year we have projects with the new workplaces, with increasing our budget, and the total worth of these projects are more than 6 billion people. So I already mentioned automotive industry, some other industries that are driving our economy in my region. I know that there are some representatives of Himgrad. We have some joint projects with them, thanks to Rais of Republic of Tatarstan, Mr. Minhanov. We established Technopark, 63,000 meters per square. And we're always welcome for new representatives, for new residents to this park. We have very, very good conditions for them. So the 1 square meter is only $1.5, and we saved the energy cost for this technopark. So you are always welcome. This is innovation park. We have a lot of innovation projects in this area. Moreover, we held grants from Hungarian universities. It will help us to achieve more goals. So I would like to mention once again that we have very good conditions and in our technoparks. Always welcome. Thank you so much. I would like to remark on your speech. You pay a lot of attention to IT sector. Thank you so much. 2 months ago that we sent our IT representative to your region, and he came back to our country very inspired, and we would like to plan a business mission in September this year. So right now we are choosing the best companies for you and for us. So this project will be interesting as for you as for our Russian companies for localization of their business. Your Chizak region is the best region for IT development. So we're moving on. I believe that all of you can trust me that entering new market is a new stage in dealing with business issues, and every company need to mobilize their resources, their force. But the most important thing is local instruments that will help you to find the best employees. And one of the best instruments, one of the best organs is the Chamber of Commerce. So, Mr. Mr. Abdurasul, you are welcome. Uh, the Director of Territorial Committee of Chamber of Commerce of Tashkent. Uh, Good afternoon to everyone, dear friends, dear participants of our forum. I would like to present you investigation and trade potential of our region, Tashkent region. Dear colleagues, please help us to decide with clickers, so maybe you can turn the slides by yourself. This region is located in a very beautiful place. We have fruitful nature resources and professional human resources. So that is why this direction is very interesting for investors. Today, we will discuss the most interesting drivers and investment potential for Tashkent region. Tashkent region has a stable development despite all the difficulties and global issues. So we plan to achieve figure 8.3 billion US dollars. We are bringing a lot of investments, so we believe that investment potential in the last year was $5.3 billion. So you can see by yourself that this is a very trustful figure. As for foreign trade economy, in last year was more than $9 billion, and we are improving. We have key partners, for example, Russia, Kazakhstan, China, Turkey. Export products are from food industry to industrial equipment. Tashkent region is a heart of Middle East. Logistics is very comfortable. We have strategic position, and it is easy to enter the markets of China, Afghanistan, Europe. So this is a good opportunity to enter foreign markets. Tashkent region offers you great benefits for investors, and the most preferable industry is a real estate, also tourism industry, construction, logistics, storage, and so on. Education, don't forget about education, food industry, pharmaceutical industry, and so on. length of automobile roads is more than 16,000 kilometers, so this is a good driver for increasing your logistics potential. We have long railway roads, big cities with logistic clusters. In 2023, the production of industrial equipment increased by 103%, and this industry is a driver of our region. The most successful industry is energy resources, food industry, textile industry, construction industry, and the stable increase was also around 102%. So you can see that we have a quick success, and that means that we have a good potential for industry and have a great investment potential. As for development of Tashkent region, we also would like to point out that our region had a great amount of natural resources. For example, cement, construction materials, salt. You can see all the numbers and figures on the slide. Moreover, the urbanization level is around 53%. This is quite high level. Also, all the investors can rely on government support and business environment in our region. So I would like to point out once again that the most preferable industries are textile, energy resources, food industry, construction industry. You can see all the figures on the side. This is annual increase in these industries. You can see that the figures are quite remarkable, and we are developing, of course. So as for figures, you could see all of them on the slide. I would like to say once again that we have a very good business climate in Tashkent region, so welcome everyone to come to our region. Thank you so much to all of you.
Thank you very much, Abdurasul, for your presentation. But as for the last slide, there was a figure on the number of enterprises, of joint ventures with some countries, and I've managed to take a look at them. As there is 1,401 enterprise involving some investors from Russia. It is almost 50% of all the Uzbek enterprises with Russian participation. It is a little bit more than 3,000. This eloquently testifies to industrial and investment potential of attractiveness of the Tashkent region. Thank you very much. That's the attraction of the Tashkent region. Let's move forward, dear colleagues. We have already recollected Inoprom Central Asia. It was held for the first time in Tashkent traditionally at the end of April. And this word Inoprom is clear, and it's definitely about industrial cooperation. And Rebecca has already mentioned that technology parks were established from Technopolis, colleagues from Kimgrad Technopolis once. Somehow we praise Kimgrad and voice its accomplishments, not only because we're in Kazan now, but because they work in a very effective way, and their neighbors of Uzbekistan in the Central Asian region have witnessed that when Chirchik was launched in 2022 and Jizak was launched in 2023, our colleagues from Tajikistan reached out to the Republic of Kyrgyzstan and the Federal Ministry of Industry and Trade. They would like to have something similar in their republics. Our Kyrgyz colleagues are also having a closer look on that. That's the indicator of top-notch work. And I would like to ask the director of Chirchik Technology Park and Jizak, Jihadin Abdurrahmanov, to share their experience with the audience and with us. Please tell us how these technology parks are functioning, and based on their case, let us understand how these successful industrial projects of cooperation are implemented. The floor is yours. Hello, distinguished colleagues. And thank you very much for providing us an opportunity to point out our positive experience of implementing this project. By and large, as for Uzbekistan, currently we have over 20 or 22 special free economic zones. We have over 140 new industrial zones and roughly 400 clusters and 15 technology parks. But Chirchik Chemical and Technical Technology Park has this full name. That's the first model of cooperation, and it's the Russian-Uzbek joint project. It was deployed owing to our colleagues from the Republic of Tatarstan, from the government of the Republic of Tatarstan, and our colleagues from Kemgrad. That's why it was established, and we express our deep gratitude for this opportunity to collaborate. As for Uzbekistan, I'm not going to expand on it, but one of the key points is the following one. We should promptly adapt to the needs of the growing population, and our annual augmentation is almost 900,000, almost a million. That's an enormous human resource. That's a chance to enter great marketplaces in the future when it comes to our economy and industrial activities and other sectors. The idea of the project was the following one. It was initiated in 2018 jointly with Hakimiyat Tashkent region and the government of the Republic of Tatarstan. Back then it was establishment with the use of Russian managerial competences. That's the venue created for effective localization of foreign companies in Uzbekistan. What happened back then? Uzbekistan is going to invest in the infrastructure, and legislative backbone is needed, as well as design, operation, commissioning, and construction of industrial facilities and providing communications. As for the Russian experience, they should use their experience in terms of creating industry parks of localization. It's about master plan design, concept design, consulting, advisory services, and oversight of projects and supervision in the course of construction. And this park should also be promoted not only at the level of Kemgrad residents, but also it should be projected to other companies from Russia and other regions. As I have already emphasized, back in 2021, when the President of Uzbekistan, Shavkat Mirziyoyev, welcomed RICE, there was a joint project together with Kemgrad. They started implementing this project in practical terms. It was discussed several times at the joint sessions of Russian-Uzbek Business Council at the Ministry of Industry and Trade in the Russian Federation and the Industry Park of the Russian Federation. In the end, on the 3rd of February 2022, the resolution of the President of the Republic of Uzbekistan was passed on creating this technology park, and for the 20th of April 2023, Design Technology Park was also approved. That's how this organizational layout looked like. That's the opportunity to That's Uzbekistan is the GSC. When it translated it into English, it means it's a chemical industry. It's a locomotive of the chemical industry of the Republic of Uzbekistan. And this society, this company, established the directorate of the technology park, and this helped them create the managing companies, which helps us control technology park activities. As for the major issues regarding the technology park activities and project implementation, the administrative chairman were endorsed, and that is this council is headed by the Prime Minister of the Republic of Uzbekistan. There are some members of the agency for governing the state assets and some ministries. That Jizak region is also involved in that. The Stajin region, Uskimsa Sunat is the institute, and some other companies are involved in that. As for benefits and preferences, they are attributed to the technology park residents, which are represented to the free economic zones. For instance, the Republic of Uzbekistan, the following one. I'm not going to dig deep onto the details, but one of the key points is as follows. When we have a land tax, they have a special regime, regardless of the investment amount for 10 years. It's provided by state-owned companies and financial investment companies when it comes to state supports, subsidies, guarantees, and reimbursement of some projects, and interest rate refund when it comes to loans. As for campground, that's what we have, and then we replicated this experience at a campground. We have the same conditions there, and
multiple residents turn to us asking whether the conditions are comparable to Kazan campground. Yes, if it sticks to it, they are ready to enter this business, and this so-called the logo, a trademark. It's a renowned brand. We have prefabricated buildings which may be leased or sold or rented. We may also build some premises upon the requirement of the resident.
As for managing company helps us to choose the place for residents, making general consulting, preparing all the registry documents, application, and so on. For application to government, council, and so on. Also providing some consulting services, hiring human resources, and marketing services. For example, events, advertising, attending exposition, some marketing researches. So we are providing our residents with a stand on Expo. As for rent fees in Churchik and Jizak, you could see that on the slide. As for industrial square meters, you can see that on the slide that it is quite a great square. We have more than 30,000 square meters in Churchik and more than 13 square meters in Jizak. Have administrative offices, industrial places, and storages. As for Technopark of Churchik, right now we are planning to enlarge this park, and we are ready to explore more than 70,000 square meters. What are we doing today? Right now we have more than 37 projects, and the total value more than $32 million. These projects are already realized, and 22 of them are built together with Russian business, with the Russian budget. Um, 14 out of 22 projects already realized, and they are already functioning. In 2023, we built 155 new workplaces, and we plan to achieve the figure by 800 new workplaces. As for fine products, last year this total amount of products was $3 million, and this year we plan to achieve $30 million. As for export, according to customs, we have exported on $1 million. This year plan to make this 10 times more. Right now, we are exporting to Georgia, Russia, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, our neighbors, our good friends. And this year we plan to establish 6 more projects. And we plan to produce new types of products. Of course, we already have successful experience in Russia, in our country. We are working together. We are good friends with Bashkortostan, with Tumen region of Russian Federation, and we are working together on realization of these projects. Thank you so much for your attention. Thank you so much. Thank you, dear Jahangir. Before we move to another speaker, I would like to go back to last year when we opened the Technopark Chizak, and that day, Mr. Mirzoyev, the president of Uzbekistan, was inviting the delegation from Tatarstan, and Uzbek side asked the delegation of Republic of Tatarstan to advertise these technoparks in Uzbekistan, and Tatarstan always ready to help, and this republic is the leader of successful implementation of new projects and technoparks. They have great experience since 2004. Right, Keepmaster was the leader. It is, of course, we know that it is a company from Naberezhnye Chelny, daughter company of Kamaz Master. The great leaders in automotive and truck industry. They are famous to all over the world, and I would like to give speech to Farid Zakirov, General Director of GSC Common Industrial Park Master. So, welcome. Thank you so much. I would like to share with you with our project. Of course, 1 year ago, or maybe a little bit more, we had an agreement to build a new park, new zone, and we already have name. It's Novoiski complex to develop industrial development. Of course, we have successful examples in Uzbekistan, but I have inspiration that Mr. Shavkat Mirzoyev have a great secret to have in the pocket so fruitful regions. As for Kama Industrial Park, Master, we have 1.5 million square meters for industrial sites and offices. From the very beginning, we had only 45 square meters, but this year we are celebrating 20th anniversary. We are developing. Of course, we were dealing with old Kamaz Master factory, but we developed it to a great site for small business opportunities. And we have another sphere of work. We are copying our experience, and right now we have 7 new parks, special zones in different regions of Russian Federation, and I would like to share with you our experience. I would like to mention Novoisky development zone. We invested $40 million to this project. These are investments from Uzbekistan and Republic of Tatarstan and Russia. We are inviting managing company to control all the processes. So their biggest opportunities are making a quick access for industrial companies to enter this zone, quick entering the market. As for greater benefits are good logistics. We have railway station nearby and so on. This complex is located in the special economical zone in Novoisk. We have a representative of this special economical zone. It will be introduced later, but we have 46 square meters for our new objects. And right now, we are already realizing the second stage of this project. We were lucky because we had a great investor, and right now we are making some final steps for realizing this project. The first stage will be located on 28,000 square meters. Right now we don't have 100% localization for our residents, but we are waiting for them. We are so welcome. And even though we don't have all the square meters left with residents, but we already ready to start. As for activities that are possible in this special zone, construction materials, pharmaceutical industry, automotive industry, cosmetics and perfume chemistry. Of course, these are great opportunities for this region in Uzbekistan, and we have already signed some agreements with the presidents, with our residents, very interesting projects, and we are working with them we hope that they will start their construction soon. Also, we have some other residents that are interested in the Uzbekistan. Of course, they joined us last year when we had delegation to Uzbekistan, and they will join us this year too when we will have big business mission in September. Of course, we need to speed up. We have a track, we have our plan, and we will stick to that. We have already prepared all the documents on the project. We are preparing projects, and we are ready to establish them. As for events, potential investors are so interested in this project, and we just need to finish all the agreements to make all the agreements on renting. Of course, we have some peculiarities, we have some conditions, but we also have great support for residents of the special economical zone. Mr. President had some requests for investors for development, but we will stick to them. Thank you so much. You can scan the QR code on the slide to get more information and ask some questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Farid. I have a feeling that your project in Novorisk region will also be as successful as the one of Kemgrad in Tashkent and Chizak. At least we are going to contribute to that at the trade mission. We'll leave in Novorisk region. And now I'm eager to pass the floor to Habib Abdullayev, who's the head or the director of Novy Free Economic Zone. Farid has already pointed out that you are partly based in the special economic zone of Novy, that's where Novy is based, as far as I understand. But the unique feature of your territory and the region on the whole, whatever you construct there, the regime of a free economic zone is applicable to it. Yes, I would be happy to have that in reality. And the comparison with Kaliningrad Special Economic Zone is opportune here. Is it a special economic zone? It's a sort of a perimeter, and you should be inside this perimeter in order to lay claims on the residence status. As for Novy Special Economic Zone, this requirement is not mandatory. If an enterprise is located in Novy region, it is not limiting its capacities and capabilities to obtain this status. This doesn't cancel any procedures, any requirements for criteria compliance, but there is no rigid serfdom in this case. There is no stringent dependence upon the perimeter. I'm not going to dwell upon the region, although I like maps since childhood, and I would like to visualize where Novy region is situated. But this small appendix, this small process, and this south is a hub for our cultural life. That's where our basic territory is located. At 90% of our Novy region is a desert. It has a lot of fossil fuels. That is why it is beneficial. That's where 80% of Uzbek gold is mined, and 10% of uran. And most of our residents and 105 projects or industrial sites are not located on our basic territory. And our basic territory is this specific one. You can see these two green rectangles, and it's called Skip Masters. It's a special complex of fostering the industry. You can also see a large free area. That was the basic territory where everything was initiated. There's good infrastructure for gas and electricity. Electricity supply has no blackout, and that's for good For Uzbekistan conditions, transport accessibility is also high level. It's so splendid, and it's an industrial region. That's why it's not that hard to employ our workers. But that's not what I would like to be centered around. Often do we mention impressive figures or our opportunities to achieve something or the achievements of specific regions. But I would like to use a more down-to-earth approach and touch upon one more aspect. All that Russian companies are undertaking is aimed at gain. What does the business need? It needs profits and security, and it shouldn't be punished for that anyhow. And that's what we are going to focus on in Novai SEZ. Given the current situation, let me express it in a politically correct way. There are some nuances for Russian business when it comes to the global world, the global situation. Uzbekistan is a very amiable and far-reaching territory for the Russian business in this regard. And if we decompose all the companies interested in which are interested in Uzbekistan, they are driven by different motivations. Some of them are just eager to sell something, and the investors avoid that because they don't like to be called investors, because they would just like to sell everything. They start shivering at this point because they don't think of investing in something. They want to sell something rather than to localize their manufacturing facilities. And there's another category. It's aimed at localization for the sake of returning products to Russia. It's due to the fact that Russia has manpower shortage in terms of white collars, in terms of blue collars, and now it's not that the best solution to transport the labor migrants. So they're interested in locating the platforms in Russia and in Uzbekistan and to export the ready products into Russia. And these restrictions are not applicable. Restrictions are not that applicable to that. We are exempt from customs duties. And the Russian government also has a refund of 50% of transport fees. There are some companies which are eager to export our products, would like to get back to the Russian Federation. These conditions are very favorable for them. And some of the market players are just eager to sell something and to promote their products at the Uzbek market because the cost of sales is declining, and this will enhance their profits, and their priority customers will definitely purchase their goods. That's the third category, which is also of prime importance. Nowadays, there are a lot of promising markets for Russia, but it is still impeded for entering because it is desirable to have another certificate from a different certificate from Made in Russia certificate. The products which are manufactured here may get the status of Uzbeki products, and these products may freely move to other markets. And it is the key interest groups. As for Novai accomplishments, our topic is cooperation and the opportunities for the Russian market. All these categories, companies, starting from pure sellers and finishing with diverse localizers with different kinds of motivation, all of them get our support, and we have our unique solutions for each and every of them. There are some nuances concerning payments. Not only do I mean the payments to unfriendly countries, but this also related to China, for instance. China is a partner for Russia, but still there are some issues of selling it in and paying for goods in yuans. I'm aware of a lot of cases, and we back these companies. They use their Uzbek entities in order to pay for the goods of Chinese counterparties. And there's one important point to mention. There's also international trade, transport and logistics, and industrial services, for instance, equipment repair. This hasn't been present in special economic zone. This was not allowed in the past, but now, thanks to the recent decree of our president, these activities are also permissible. For instance, Novaya Special Economic Zone is the following one. I'm not going to focus on the terms and conditions. They are resembling one another in Uzbekistan. There is the identical package of benefits, but it is located in the geographical center of Uzbekistan in terms of logistics and foreign trade. It's a beneficial location. That's where I would like to wrap up, because the major sense of my speech is the following one. Any Russian company which would like to develop business in Uzbekistan may have a solution of ours which will be customer-oriented. Thank you very much. Thank you, Habib. As for your last sentence, you became our last speaker deliberately, and now we're going to move on to the representatives for our companies. As for your last sentence, it was an announcement of the results, and now I'm passing the baton to the first out of the three remaining speakers. But let me provide a brief introduction. There is no point in discussing the fact that oil and gas industry is one of focus priorities for Uzbekistan and driver of economic development, and our joint work on manufacturing and supplying Russian equipment for key segments of this industry of Uzbekistan cannot be overstated. And as for the Uzbekistan market, Kromas Engineering is actively working in the Uzbekistan market in this field. It has already been mentioned in the INNOPROM, and it signed framework document in INNOPROM with the Uzbekistan Design Institute of Oil and Gas Industry, called Uzbekneftegas, and the topic is crucial. It's about manpower training and the refreshment and retraining of active employees. Alexander, what are your upcoming plans regarding the work in this marketplace, and what are your expectations? Thank you very much.
Good afternoon to everyone. Thank you so much for the opportunity to be here today. Our company, Kromas Engineering LLC, we have 30 years anniversary, and we are producing monitoring equipment to make analysis for liquids and gases. Of course, our main market is petrochemical industry, but this equipment could be used in other industries too, for example, agriculture industry, and so on. So this type of products is need to make an analysis of soil, for example. As for Uzbekistan, we from the very beginning we started to make export to Uzbekistan with industrial equipment, where we didn't need to be quick and fast. We didn't need to decide all the issues, administrative issues, so fast. But nevertheless, we started to work with some great companies that started to work to export gas, natural gas, to Uzbekistan, and we had to change ourselves. So as for our product, this a auto walking equipment that can make an analysis of liquids and gases. So our product led us to localize in Uzbekistan, because logistics, transport fees are cheaper. Of course, I will not mention some technical peculiarities, but our product is very successful on Uzbekistan market. Of course, there are a lot of competitors that has left Russian market, but we are dealing with them. Moreover, Uzbekistan has a lot of preferential supports for Uzbek companies. So we opened new company, Kimyo Technologia. We have all the certificates. We have all the quality control centers approvals. We have big manufactory around about 600 square meters. By the way, this company was built in 2021. The manpower is not so big, around 10 people, but they are mainly they provide service. As for our biggest projects, of course, our biggest clients are from petrochemical industry, because they need to monitor, to control the gas and all the liquids that are going through the pipes. And if there is a problem, they need to stop all the pipe. They will have a great loss. And our top priority, top direction was to educate all the employees. We always had these trainings for our clients and during the complex export to our clients. Right now, Ustrangas and Uzbekneftgaz, they have a joint project, and Ustrangas will take training from Uzbekneftgaz. Of course, we train not only professionals that will work with this equipment, but all the professionals of our clients. As a result of our experience in this sphere, I can mention that localization was a long-standing project, not one-day project. We have signed a memorandum of making a analysis school in Uzbekistan, so we are providing our experience, our skills, our knowledge to Uzbekistan. And right now in Russia we have 3 platforms where we can educate our clients: Moscow, Sochi, and every 3 months we have these training programs. They are very professional, and we can change the training program according to the client's needs. And the same program will be localized in Uzbekistan. It will be our biggest competitive benefit to compete on the market, and our clients will be able to get through these trainings faster. We have already had an agreement with the deputy of the university to prepare all the training team together. As I already said, we have signed a memorandum of making a professional school with Mr. Nazarov, director of this project and institute. He supported us, and I hope that we will work on this together in the future. As a representative of a localized company in the Uzbekistan market, I would say thank you to the companies and representatives of Uzbekistan, I would like to say that Uzbekistan market is very clear for us, it familiar for us, and it is easy to work there. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Alexander. You mentioned key words in your speech, in my opinion. Our competitive advantage is training the personnel, and that's true because all of us share the opinion that's the global problem. It is relevant for our country, for Uzbekistan. There is hardly any state which will acknowledge that everything goes smoothly in this regard. And when business missions turn to our trade mission or some companies address us point-wise, we always highlight that prior to entering a new market, you should understand what will distinguish you from your competitors, which have ready-made financial proposals and with long-standing money, and it is not always provided by Russian companies, and training the manpower will definitely be a competitive advantage. And our Uzbek partners are fully aware of that, and we wish you good luck in this field. Yes, thank you very much. Thank you. Let us now go further. There is barely any person in the audience hall who has never placed an order on this marketplace, or maybe some of your relatives haven't done it. I don't believe that. That's Wildberries company, which has recently appeared in Uzbekistan. It entered this market approximately a little bit more than 2 years ago. The first point of sales was opened there, and now it has over 120 of them. And Rafat will mention them right now. Rafat, the floor is yours. And the question is the following one. What are the prospects for further development of online trade in Uzbekistan? And what are your further plans? What are further plans of a Wildberries company in this market? The answer is 142. Thank you very much. The prospects for the we get distracted from the company. The development prospects for e-commerce in the Republic are ranked as the greatest ones. It is attributed to economic growth and great population and exciting development and upward going demand and the geographical position. That's the region where marketplaces will always have a lot of ground to cover and a lot of work to do. And if we speculate on the following the effect of failures and success, but as for your record of achievements, you have managed to find your customer. You are quite right. Many republics know what Wildberries is about. They've used their services. They have some experience in this field. That's what you've succeeded in doing. There is quite a number of factors. One of them is the following one. The citizens had particular experience of working with our service in Russia, to name a few. There are multiple factors, and that's a great achievement. Are we satisfied with our level of service, which is now rendered to the citizens of the Republic? We reckon that we may ameliorate it. There is always room for improvement in this case. That's what we have failed to do. We have managed to orchestrate and to find logistic solutions, but we are sure that we may deliver goods promptly, and we are eager to do it. That's what we are continually improving. We've started upgrading the infrastructure and PUDOs, pick-up delivery, drop-off points. We have a logistics center. Yes, we are ready to move in this direction. We need a new logistics center. We have failed to do it, but that's one of our plans, and that's the venue which was used for extra negotiations and talks in this field. And now we have some sellers from Uzbekistan, and we are happy to have them. There are approximately 900 active sellers? And does it suffice to contributing to export of Uzbekistan products, especially when it comes to joint ventures? I don't think that suffices. We have great reserves for development. As for our future work, which we may make progress, we may improve some aspects where we have some potential. That's how I may answer this question. As pertains to the following point, one of the privileges of a person delivering a speech at the final part of the event is the following one. You may respond to everything has already been voiced. And dear colleagues, I would like to underscore that we are a regional company. That's how we are positioning ourselves. We are localized in Moscow region. And we refer to the regional activities in our country, be it Tatarstan or some other regions. As for Tatarstan, we have instrumental infrastructure. It's one of the best ones, given the magnitude of the Russian Federation. It is perfectly orchestrated, and we keep making progress in this field. Here are some figures of the representatives and the heads of Uzbekistan regions. Let me voice some figures from our Russian experience. As for construction and operation of logistics centers, let me remind you that we have 7 transport and logistics centers in total in our country. And the total area for construction, for development, is 1.5 million square meters. By and large, we have 100 locals sorting centers, approximately 29,000 drop-off points, including the ones located in other countries. And according to our experience, the functioning of the chain of transport logistics center and the infrastructure of e-commerce for the region is plus 2.6% of global regional product. It is plus 4.52% of the number of people employed in different territories. As for the economic activities, approximately plus 3%. That's our augmentation. That's our average experience for the territories and the regions of the Russian Federation. When it comes to the way the transport and logistics centers are functioning, why is all that attainable, in my opinion? When it comes to marketplaces, we think that it's something virtual. First and foremost, it's about digital solutions, but the effects and the infrastructure are tangible, and they're visible and physical. Any marketplace, in accordance with our experience and our counterparts' experience, has a very vast and all-encompassing business ecosystem. It is formed around these centers. All logistics experts who deliver services in accordance with the last mile are the locals who work at these enterprises. All the sellers are local small and medium-sized enterprises in the first place. All the companies which provide a broad range of services related to marketplace activities are also local companies. And as for pick-up drop-off points, there are some pick-up drop-off points which I have already mentioned. Vast majority of them, over 99% of them, in fact, are local enterprises which just start this business. They are open. You may have an opportunity. You may either inaugurate a shop or store or a pickup drop-off point and benefit from that. And that's an ecosystem apart from generating employment. in the region, this infrastructure has some extra effects for the local business environment, and I think that it's very important with respect to our contribution to regional development. That's what I would like to highlight as well.
And that's all that I wanted to say today. Thank you so much, Mr. Rafael. Right now, I recalled that Miss Tatiana Makalchuk almost 2 years ago was within Tashkent. I was also visiting Prime Minister that time, and the place of the meeting was this logistics center. This was one of the places, and the Prime Minister said that he would like to let us visit Navai region because the logistic and transport circumstances are quite developed. Moreover, this zone is specialized on these industries, so I just recommend you to think about that and maybe contact them and maybe discuss other regions of Uzbekistan too, but Navai place is the best one. Of course, not the place. The place is not the most important part. The most important is human being. Of course, there are a lot of privileges, and last but not least, of course, we would like to give a speech to very perspective company. I was in their office. This is very great company that is dealing with medical equipment technologies. They are producing high quality medical equipment, medical devices, and the platform is very inspiring. Thank you so much for your inviting. Mr. Ulugбек, please share with your experience what are the best benefits for Russian companies to localize their company in the Uzbekistan. So according to your practice, according to your experience, what can you say? Good day to everyone. You always support me. I would like to briefly introduce the most important and successful results about visiting Mr. Vladimir Putin in Uzbekistan. Unfortunately, there was a lockdown due to COVID-19. And the next slide, please. Yeah, our company was formed thanks to direct investments. Our construction site more than 4,000 square meters, and thank you to our partners, to our colleagues. They gave their knowledge for us so that we could make a high quality construction site and manufacturing. So right now we are providing our clients with research, with producing the product, with trainings, and of course post-sale service. We are working according to international standards, for example, ISO. Today we proved this certificate once again, and right now we are getting CE and FDA certificates, because we have some clients, potential clients in Latin America and in Europe. So right now we are producing stationary non-movable Röntgen equipment and some other medical equipments for diagnostic and examination of patients. I would like to briefly introduce pharmaceutical industry in Uzbekistan. Right now, we have more than 300 pharmaceutical companies that are producing medications, medical devices, medical equipments, health supplements, and so on. Moreover, there are a lot of suppliers that supply to these companies raw materials, medical herbs, and also in Uzbekistan there are a lot of high qualified professional biologists and scientists. We have two universities and more than 880 students. What benefits for localizing the business in Uzbekistan? The percent of localization of our equipment is about 40%, and there are a lot of benefits. For example, all the pharmaceutical products, medicaments will bring us a unlimited benefit for registration, and if it is non-medical product, then it's 3 to 5 years. Of course, there is a transport and logistic fees refund, about 50%. And if you get international quality certificates in other countries, then the government will refund about 75% of your losses. Of course, most of the government purchasing are dealing according to contracts, and these contracts are signing for 10 years. This is a guaranteed purchasing. The another benefit, of course, government purchasing. We have a digital platform where all the suppliers can introduce their products, and they will compete only with other suppliers, producers. And you will have a benefit about 15 to 20%. This is 7%. For example, if your product is 7% cheaper, then sorry. If the foreign product is 7% cheaper than your product, then you will have, of course, you will have the benefit from the government in the amount 15 to 20%. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Ulubek. I would like to finish up, but I have another question. Your colleagues are producing high-quality medical equipment, and of course their prices are very competitive if we compare it to South Korea or Japan. So I would like to recommend to your Ministry of Healthcare to pay attention to this young guy with high-quality product. Dear colleagues, dear friends, I can see a lot of spare rows, but I have some questions. If you have any questions, please take the mic and you can ask any questions to our speakers. Good day to everyone. Dear speakers, thank you so much for your presentations. I'm a development director. My name is Vasily. I'd like to ask Mr. Ulumbek. We have a great relationships. Um, we had a business mission to your city. We have some effective companies, and we have already made some export already. About $1.5 million have already exported goods, and thank you so much for opening your doors for us. Right now, we are dealing with a question about making a joint business in Uzbekistan. Of course, one party is company from Krasnodar, and the second party is company from Uzbekistan. Can you share your experience with us? How did you make these financial transfers from Russia to Uzbekistan and from Uzbekistan to Russia? So what are the stocks? What are the investment projects? I've seen your offset contracts that is similar to Russian situation, but if we talk about pharmaceutical industry, but I would like to talk to you more detail. Yeah, I would be glad. Thank you so much. You have pointed these so systematical questions. Of course, you can contact me and my colleagues, of course, too. Of course, we prefer theoretical part, but if you need practical part, we can do it too. We have a big base, we have a big experience. For example, we can check the potential business partner, and I would highly advise you to do so, to make this checking of your counterpart. And I would like to say that I have so many questions from Russian companies that have found a non-trustable business partner. So if you need any help, please contact me. I will tell you all of that. Any other questions? Dear colleagues, then we are almost finished up for today. So if you, as I see that we can talk more, but I believe that next year we will meet once again, and we are so glad to be here today to talk about successful moments. Thank you so much.